Hey, there's Joe with Sonical Disruptive. How are you? I hope everything is great. So today I'm going to review Sweet Oblivion featuring Geoff Tate. This is a new project, and as the title may suggest, it features Geoff Tate on vocals. Guitar and bass, you have an Italian guitarist from the progressive metal band DGM. His name is Simone Marolani. I believe that's kind of how you say it. You also have the keyboard player from DGM as well, and a drummer who I'm not familiar with. So let's get into this. First off, I think this is probably the fastest a new record has kind of got its hooks into me in recent memory. This took no time at all, and it felt good kind of right from the start. I think that has something to do with its masterful ability to kind of have one foot in the sweet, nostalgic past of Queensryche glory and also the other foot firmly planted in present time. This is driven by songs. You got great performances on guitar. Simone is an excellent guitar player. Geoff's voice sounds fantastic here, really strong, but the songs are incredible and cohesive. These aren't progressive epics or anything. These are just 4.5 minute traditional song structure songs with really big choruses, great hooks, and memorable melody lines that draw you in. I think this sounds more classic Queensryche than perhaps anything since, I'd go so far back as, say, maybe Promised Land. And I'm talking current Queensryche or anything Geoff Tate's did. This really hits that spot. This hits that era between Rage for Order and Promised Land. Those records, this fits in nicely in that era. But as I said, it doesn't sound dated, so you get the nostalgic feeling, and yet it doesn't sound like you're listening to something that's 20, 30 years old or whatever. It sounds current and yet comfortable, which is unique and nice to hear. And the strong points here are, as I said before, the songs are all memorable. It's about 48 minutes long. It is 10 songs, and each of these 10 songs you do remember. There's no chorus that you forget. There's nothing you really skip over. True Colors, this is the opening single they released, is really strong. One of my favorites is Hideaway. It's a dark, moody song, but again, it has that infectious chorus. Really nice melodic song that you really kind of get into. Promised Landy, I would say. My Last Story is extremely catchy. Transition, fantastic. It ends with a song called Seek the Light, and that's probably my favorite song on the album. And this is, again, a classic kind of Queensryche closer. Very strong song. The only thing I would really knock it for is I would like to see it maybe kind of stretch out a little bit. Now, I understand that's not what this was supposed to do. This is supposed to be in this Queensryche box kind of, but I would kind of like to see them kind of, stretch out, experiment a little, which they didn't do. The record feels safe, the songs feel a little bit formulaic, but that also helps. That classic song formula really helps the song stick in your head, and that's part of the reason why it is so good. Production wise, it's very good, very up to date with today's production standards, which that's the one thing I kind of wish they would have taken from, let's say, Rage for Order, which sounds so good to this date. This is good, but it suffers from overcompression like so much does these days, and it doesn't have that really rich, layered, three-dimensional listening experience. Other than that, though, yeah, I mean, like I said before, Geoff is singing in a very reminiscent style from his Empire days, perhaps, of Queensryche. Very melodic, very clear, very strong. Maybe if you are a disenfranchised Queensryche fan, maybe let's say you don't like the direction they took since maybe 96, maybe even a little before. Maybe you don't really dig what Geoff has did after Queensryche. Maybe you don't even dig necessarily the new Queensryche with Todd LaTorre. Maybe you feel like that music is a little cold, lacks a little personality, which, by the way, I'm a fan of the new Queensryche. I like the sound. I'm also a huge fan of what Geoff Tate has did afterwards. His Operation Mindcrime trilogy, I thought was really good, really strong, and I highly enjoy that. That being said, as far as the new Queensryche goes, I do find that their music can be a little cold, and I do feel that it does lack a little personality. Don't shoot me. That's just my own opinion. This will fit nicely in your ear holes. If you're longing to hear kind of that classic Queensryche sound brought up to speed into a modern day context, this is your record. Look no further. Welcome home. Listen to Sweet Oblivion. I highly recommend this. I highly enjoy this. This was a great surprise. Kind of came out of the blue. Didn't have any idea it was coming. It was early April when it was announced, and that was the first time I think most anybody had heard anything about this. Let me know what you think. Like it, don't like it. I love it. Recommend it. Go get it. Sweet Oblivion comes out on June 14th. I don't think too many people will be disappointed in this. I know there are some Geoff Tate haters who, no matter what he does, they're going to knock it and hate it. But I think the majority of people, if you listen to it with a clear mind and open ears, are going to really enjoy this record. So go out and get it already. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. See ya.